Alright guys, welcome to the Communicating Our Brand workshop. Today we're going to talk about brands not only in ourselves, but also in organizations and how we can use those brands to share our passion with others. Before we get started, who can tell me what a brand is or give me an example? Yeah.
How someone or something represents themselves.
Right, so oftentimes we think of stores that we like to go through, or maybe clothing lines, they all have a brand that is a representation, and it is a way that other people can recognize them from other similar competition. So as we walk through these doors, I want you to start thinking about a couple maybe clothing lines or grocery stores and what those brands are and what makes that unique to the other competitors. As you walk through these doors, there's two tables up near the front with open seats. I want you to take one of those open seats and wait for further instructions. Are there any questions? Let's go ahead and head inside. So oftentimes when we talk about brands, slogans are usually ways that stores use to brand themselves. So if I was to say McDonald's, you would say,
I love it.
And if I was to say Red Robin, you would say,
Yum.
If I was to say Nike, you would say,
Just do it.
And if I was to say Publix, you would say,
Where shopping is a pleasure.
So all of these different companies have a brand. And with that brand, they've created a slogan that they are able to identify themselves with. When someone walks into a Publix, they know they will not only be able to shop, but they will be able to do it with a pleasure. This is most important when we're trying to communicate our brand not only for our organization, but for ourselves. We want to focus on not only what our organization or our personal endeavor is, but why that's important to us, and make sure we're able to get that point across to each and every individual. Next, we're about to do an activity that will help showcase the what and the why of creating a brand. In this next activity, we will work in the groups at which our tables are placed. We will have the length of 2 minutes to create a sales pitch for a random object I provide you with. At the end of 2 minutes, you will present your sales pitch to the group, and yours truly will pick a winner. Are there any questions? To reiterate, we have 2 minutes to work in our groups to create a sales pitch for a random object, and at the end of 2 minutes, we will present those sales pitches. As soon as I place the random objects on your tables, you may begin.
Wow, how did you come up with that? That's good.
All right, so we have about 30 more seconds to finish up those wonderful sales pitches, and then we'll present. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, so which group thinks they have the best sales pitch? Great, thanks for volunteering to go first. Go to the stage. And you start whenever you're ready.
Okay, so today we have for you the Black Panthers football.
Yes, this football is absolutely amazing. The entirety of the University of Florida's football team definitely recommends it.
He's just tossing and flossing.
Yeah, let's give them some power stats. They're gonna toss it and floss. All right, and our second team is ready to go ahead and present.
Today we have the aloe lip balm.
Alright, so this is an amazing product. I'm telling you right here now, you want to use it. Whether you're a guy or a girl, you want to use this product because I'm telling you, nobody likes a person with chapped or cracked lips. That's just not attractive at all. That's why you want to use this amazing product.
Less cracking and more lip smacking.
And let's give them some power stats as well. All right, so both of those were really, really great sales pitches. I don't know which one I can choose, but I think we're gonna have to go with the aloe lip balm. So let's go ahead and give them some more power snaps. All right, so we just created a sales pitch. To the winning group, this question's for you. How did you guys go about starting your sales pitch? What are some of the conversations that you guys had at the beginning of those 2 minutes?
So both we kind of figured out what the product was and what we can say about it.
Okay, we figure out what the product was and what you can say about it. How about to our own group? What were some of those conversations you guys had in the first 2 minutes?
Well, first, we figured out what it was and then what it said on the football and then how they use it.
Okay, so it seems like both groups had to do some investigating first, right? Before they could actually create their sales pitch. So let's talk about the actual sales pitch itself. Both of you guys had really catchy slogans. So what made you guys pick those slogans compared to maybe something else? Who wants to share? Yeah.
Well, we thought about what it's used for, so then we thought something catchy to say that kind of would make people laugh or make people more interested.
Yeah, so you kind of wanted people to be able to relate to your product, right? And did someone over here want to share?
So mainly we just wanted people to remember the product by the slogan.
To be remembered by slogan. Okay, so both of the groups touched on, they talked about investigating, they talked about what the product was used for. What we may not realize we did is when we were creating those slogans, we were showing the why. With this group right here, if you don't want your lips to be dry and you want them to be smacking, you want to use this chapstick, right? That's something somebody's gonna remember. They know not only what the product is used for, but why they should use it and why it's better than any other product. So let's think back to about 10 minutes ago when we were outside of the doors and we defined a brand as something as being representative of a community or an organization. Now let's think about ourselves as individuals. What can our brand be? And in order to define what our brand can be, we have to do what we just did on this sales pitch activity. We have to first investigate internally ourselves to see what we stand for, and then we have to decide why we stand for that and create a slogan or brand for ourselves in which we will share that with others in our community and those organizations that we talked about that we represent and are a part of.